Good morning and welcome to this live broadcast. I'm MJ, lifestylist, coming to you from my home and studio in Bournemouth in the UK. And this morning we are here to bring you some motivation, inspiration and conversation for your day ahead. Good morning, Fiona. How are you? So we begin our day as always by sharing the 3 things that we're grateful for. What 3 things are you grateful for in your life right now? Pop them up on screen. Let's have a bit of a chat. Let's pull some cards. Let's have a bit of a chat about life. Who's got some plans for this weekend? We have got a fundraiser this evening for Ollie Saxty. Ollie is a little dog who recently had cancer had cancer and is now undergoing lots and lots of chemo treatments in order to help stave off any more cancer. And he belongs to friends of ours, and we decided to do a little fundraiser for him tonight to see if we could help just from the blow of the financial impact of having chemo for dogs. It's thousands of pounds, and so tonight we're doing this little attend. We would love for you to share the event. So if you go onto our events on MJ Lifestylist, you can find the event for Ollie Saxty tonight. And it costs nothing to just take that event and share it on your page. Who knows, 3 or 4 people might be attracted to it. Maybe people haven't got plans for this evening and they'd like to attend, and I would really appreciate it. Every single little penny will help. And dogs can't speak up for themselves, so I feel compelled to try and see how much I can help little Ollie. That being said, let's get on to our messages. So, morning Martin, today I'm grateful for a cup of tea my colleague made me and my friends and you. Oh, I like the way you're grateful for your friends and me. So I'm clearly not a friend, so that's okay. I'm teasing, Liz. Very lovely to have you here this morning, Liz, and I can't get over that baking reference last night. I'm still a little bit in awe of that, actually. And if you'd like to know what we're talking about, why not attend a Thursday night when we do our evenings of mediumship. Morning, Tony, how are you? Going home on Sunday. Oh, that's going to be bittersweet. It's going to be very bittersweet. So I think you've got used to being up there. So, what is happening? What's going on in your world? What are you doing this weekend? How are you occupied? So we've got the fundraiser this evening. I've got my live show tomorrow night for my entertainment page. And on Sunday night, we have our Psychic Sunday. So it is really cool. Really cool. Busy all weekend long. And really enjoying being busy. Christmas tree. My Christmas tree usually goes up on the 25th of November. But I've been busy running around doing all sorts of other things that I actually haven't got round to it. And Andrew keeps saying, I'm expecting this tree to go up. Where's this tree? So who knows? We will have to see about putting that tree up today and see what comes of it. So yeah, what 3 things are you grateful for this morning? There's a card. Our first card is Sad Embrace. It's card 45. It's blue. The whole card is blue. Now, obviously, because of the green screen, you might not always see things clearly. It's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make for the sake of the green screen. So, 45, Sad Embrace. We are going to change things up soon with the green screen anyway. So, 45 comes to a 9. It's all about endings, completions, finishing off, and maybe at the time when things end or when things finish for us in different capacities. This might be work, it might be social, it might be personal to you as in a relationship, or it might just be ending things off, like getting things tied up, finished off so you can move on to the next thing. When this happens, Sad Embrace suggests that sometimes, we reflect on things and sometimes we just have to think about them very carefully. And this can make us sad. It's also a blue card, as in the color blue, and so there is so much blue in this card that you cannot avoid speaking about the throat chakra, Your throat chakra is all about communication and creativity. So that in that respect, we're looking at how we express ourselves, how we feel we're being heard, how we feel we are moving forward, and all of those things are really, really, really important, because how we feel we are being received and how we tend to portray ourselves is sometimes a very good indicator for all of us as to what is actually going on in our lives. So Sad Embrace can also be about reviewing what's going on in your life right now, and perhaps you're not getting all the answers that you might like to get. And that's okay. And that's okay. It's just one of those things. So yeah, that's what Sad Embrace is about. Let's see what else we've got. Who's still here? Who's still watching this morning? And we're going to need some conversation, guys. Love to have some conversation. Everyone's very quiet this week. This week has been incredibly quiet. Incredibly quiet. So I wonder why that is. Maybe we need to, yeah. Okay. Dry Desert comes up next. Card 31. Oh, it's a new trick. Dry Desert comes up next. It's card 31. I don't know how to, there we go. Dry Desert. It's a lady walking in the desert. Lots of yellow below her, lots of purpley pink above her. Lady walking in the desert. In Dry Desert, 31 comes to a 4. 4 is all about stability, strength, structure, built from, a strong foundation. And in Dry Desert, she's walking along in the desert, doing her thing. The things to note are that even though a desert might seem dry and seem quite arid and bare, there's all sorts of things going on in the desert below your feet and above your head. The yellow below is wisdom gained along our journey in life and how we apply that wisdom moving forward. And the purpley pink above is our connection to the divine. So really, really important. And those two things in combination are really, really interesting. It also means don't ever assume that just because things seem like nothing's going on, that nothing is going on. There is, in fact, things going on all the time. And that is incredibly important moving forward, that things are going on all the time, that things are growing and working below the surface or behind the scenes, and that it just takes one good rainfall to bring things out if it were a desert. But in life too, it just takes one good session to reveal what's been going on below. Grateful for peace and quiet this morning, my coffee and family. Hi everyone, just arrived. Wimborne have put a magnificent tree in the square. I was lucky to see them testing the lights for the first time. They're beautiful dark blue. Looks amazing. Archangel Michael, ? Yeah, Archangel Michael would give you the blue, and he's all about strength and protection, which is amazing at this time. Blue light is also considered to be pure light, Sue. Like a lot of times if you're sewing or doing anything like that, they say if you have a blue bulb in your light fitting, it'll give you a cleaner light to work by. So it's a cleaner guiding light, is blue. Morning, Colin. How are you? So yeah, all of that really comes together in a nice and affirming way. Hey, Carol. How are you? Good morning. So Carol's here. So what are we all getting up to this weekend? Hi, lovelies. Grateful for my life, my coffee, and my wonderful friends. All really, really amazing stuff. wonder, in this time of COVID, how is it that we are maintaining our friendships? Why does anyone want to comment on that? How are we able to maintain our friendships in COVID at the moment? I know we did a couple of video calls, and I want to know how you guys are able to do that. What are you doing to maintain friendships in this time of COVID? Morning, Clarewood Church. It would seem you're late this morning. Right. How are you keeping in touch with your friends? Colin says he keeps in touch with them on Facebook or texts them to see how they are. Okay. I just wonder, because a lot of you said that you're grateful for your friends, and I was just wondering how that comes about. How do we maintain that? Because we can't apparently see each other in person. Gave Pauline a video call on WhatsApp. It was lovely to see her. I'm sure. Read quietness. Kingston Lacey was deserted this week. Quite strange. Yeah, I'm just finding it quite interesting that this week I've had the lowest amount of viewers that I've ever had. And nothing's changed other than that I was not present last Friday. Morning, hun. Sorry to be late. Just making sure I don't overcook your cake. Ooh. Looking forward to that. Yeah, it's just one of those things, I suppose. It's one of those things where friendships are really, really important, as is showing up for friends. Morning, Jack. How are you? And so it's incredibly important to kind of work forwards and go, okay, well, if that's the case, how do we maintain those friendships? I know in the beginning of COVID, I was a lot more conscious and conscientious about it than I am now, given that I've got other things to do. But at the beginning of COVID, I was attempting to get hold of friends that I'd not spoken to for a long time and felt compelled to. And I was doing that by going through my Facebook and seeing who messages were popping up from or who message feeds were popping up from. And I was going, oh, so-and-so, oh, I haven't chatted to them in a while. Let's see if they'll answer my video call. And I was just doing it spontaneously. And each day I was trying to make a connection with at least 3 people that I hadn't spoken to for a while. And in most cases that worked. I got to have a lovely conversation, lovely chat, and saw how things went. But again, as time's gone on, I've kind of left that by the wayside, and I'm back to kind of putting my head down and getting things done. But it's important to keep in touch with friends, and it's important to maintain friendships. And if you feel that people aren't getting hold of you, maybe it's you that's also not getting hold of them, which is something I had to learn. Great, thanks. Hope you're well. I'm very good, thank you. Keeping in touch with friends, coffee and walking, jogging, social distance, of course, outside, Zoom, Facebook, and messages. Yeah. And a couple of us, I think Tony did, Tony, I think you did this as well. A couple of us were trying to do like a social Zoom call, and we'd all have a glass of wine or a couple of snacks and just have a bit of a chat over Zoom so that everyone could feel like they were having a virtual cocktail party, I suppose, with each other. I do worry with us being tiered now as well, if that's going to really seriously affect certain people, because they feel like every time we come to the end of the hurdle, another thing gets put in place. So I do worry for people that are not strong and resilient and able to sort of bounce back from things, because certain people won't be able to. It'll be too much for them. So let's see. Jane says, grateful for banana breakfast. Okay. My amazing friend who does my cleaning and my new tumble dryer. Good to know. Good to know, Jane. Absolutely. New tumble dryer. Metamorphosis is next. It's the, oh, there we go. Almost got it right. If you've just joined us, don't forget that because we've got a green screen behind us, the cards don't always show up, because if they've got green on them, sometimes blue, sometimes yellow, they tend to get blurred out. As you can see, some of it's getting blurred out by the green screen projection. So this is Metamorphosis. It's card 25, which comes to a 7. And 7 is all about metamorphosis or change, right? Transformation. Here you have flamingos turning into butterflies. The idea of the pink flamingos is higher heart. So we're looking at our hopes, dreams, aspirations, and wishes. The butterflies are symbols of transformation, which occurs as a result of change, which is within itself a metamorphosis. So where in your life are you changing things? Where in the life are you adapting or evolving into a better version of you? Are you making choices that are helping you in the long run to be the best version of yourself that you can be? And all of those things are really, really exciting. The energy is changing, giving us solitude and reflection with the new change in restrictions and with Christmas coming. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Claire says, grateful for our tribe, the coming weekend to relax, and the coffee today. Very much needed. I don't know when last I had coffee, actually. I might have some coffee this afternoon. When Jane comes, I might have coffee this afternoon. But I think I've last had coffee about 3-4 weeks ago. And I've got coffee. I've got beans to grind. I might go and do that now, actually. Go and grind some beans. It's interesting. The things we're grateful for is really interesting, and they can, as we all know, they can be simple things. They don't have to be complex things. And it's all about just, being present in the moment, keeping in touch with friends and family via WhatsApp, Zoom, Facebook, and Messenger. Cool. Only one close friend I've met once a week, but you and the tribe have become my company. That's true. I haven't phoned other people very often. Yeah, Jane, I only mention it because it's easy for all of us to go into victim mentality and go, oh, no one's phoned me, no one's kept in touch. But my dad used to say, by the same token, have you kept in touch? And it's a bitter pill to swallow, because sometimes we become so used to being, I'm going to say, the victim in the situation, that we don't actually take responsibility for the part that our own actions play in what's going on around us at the moment. So our own actions are actually part and parcel of what we experience on a day-to-day basis. And so if we're not being phoned, is it not also true that we're also not phoning? So I just think it's important to keep your feet on the ground and to keep things real and to keep a true account of what's actually going on versus what we sometimes all of us, versus what we fabricate to be going on. It's a very interesting dichotomy, to coin a very fabulous word. It's an interesting dichotomy. Right. So, plans for this weekend, guys. Are we all going to attempt to get hold of someone we haven't spoken to for a while? Are we going to reach out and speak to some friends? Are we putting up our Christmas decks? What's happening with that? Whose decks are up already? When can we see photos? How are we showing up in our own lives? Right now, how are we all showing up in our own lives? Because that's important too. It's all fine and well to say, oh, people haven't done this and people haven't done that, but have you done it for you? Because that's mostly important. Showing up for yourself is incredibly important. All the other stuff that happens is just a byproduct, but to actually show up for yourself is incredibly important. You're right. If you don't make an effort, why should we expect others to? Yeah. And someone said the other day to me, and it was very, very interesting. They said, and it's just gone out of my head. They were talking about the expectation we place on others. That's it. The expectation that we place on others. Like, we expect other people to behave a certain way, and sometimes we'll give a friend or a family member some news, and we will expect them to be happy for us or whatever, and they might have a different viewpoint, and just because their reaction doesn't match our expectation, we then get upset. But we're only upset because we placed an expectation on the event or on the news. If we deliver what we deliver, news-wise or information-wise, if we deliver it without expectation, we therefore won't be let down, because we're not kind of trying to force the narrative on what's happening. And it's so difficult to do, but it's so necessary to do. We need to ensure that when we tell someone something, we tell them because we want to tell them, not because we expect them to say, oh, I'm so happy for you, or oh, I don't think that's right, or whatever. So it's very, very, very important to go ahead in life. I say be responsible for what you say and be responsible for what you do, but don't place an expectation on others to respond, because when you do that, you will only be letting yourself down, because they might not choose to respond in the way you expect them to. I'll be putting up my decks, watching Lady Martinique with a cold beverage. Oh. Tell Lady Martinique I say hi. I started putting mine up November 1st. We had a big light switch on via Facebook. Oh Lord. Bet your electricity account has gone up substantially, Mr. Shack Sheriff. Yeah, so ours are going to go up hopefully over this weekend. I'm having a difficulty at the moment, but hopefully this weekend. I really, really fancy putting up my grandmother's tree, which is like 8 foot tall, but my aunt has it, and I need to see if I can borrow it from my aunt, because she delivered the wrong tree to me last year. So we shall see. We shall see. Hopefully, but we shall see. Right, so any other news that we have? Anything else we want to talk about? Anybody? Anybody? I know what I can talk about. So if you weren't here earlier, we're doing a fundraiser this evening, a mediumship evening this evening on Zoom, which means you can see, hear, and speak to everybody else. It'll all be as if we're all in the same room. It's a fundraiser for a little doggy who's undergoing chemotherapy at the moment. He's not in the best of health, bless him. He's the dog of a friend of ours. He was adopted by them, and then they found out that he had cancer, so they had this massive bill for the chemo treatments, which is, I'm told, normal, but you know, it's unexpected at any rate. And so I'm doing an evening of mediumship this evening. I'm not charging my fee at all. All the money goes directly to them through their GoFundMe page, and they will let me know who to send the link out to for this evening. And those people that have made a donation will be included and can join us this evening from 8 until 10 with your own beverage on your own couch, and take part in what promises to be, or what hopes to be, a nice evening of mediumship for the benefit of Ollie, the little dog. So if any of you can join us, please do. If you can't join us, could I ask that you just support us by sharing the event? If you go onto MJ Lifestylist into our events section, you will find the link to the event. And if you just share that on your page, who knows, maybe one or two of your friends won't have anything to do tonight and will be attracted to doing something different and might actually then make a donation. I'm really, really, really wanting to help out, and I can only do so with the support of the tribe, really. So even if you can't attend, please consider sharing the event on your Facebook and getting more people to see the event as it is, and that would be great. Can I ask, what is mediumship? Mediumship is what I do on a Sunday night, Colin. A medium will communicate with those in spirit and those here on the earth plane. So a medium is, I'm going to say, like a psychic, but it's not exactly the same thing. They're two different art forms, but similar. So it's communication. Mediums communicate. They are the medium between this world and the other world. So if you want to like and share it, I did ask initially for a £10 ticket price as such, but it's more so about making the donation. So if anyone can make a donation for this evening, or if you can't make a donation, I understand the times are tight. It costs you nothing to share the post, to share the event, and allow people to come in and take part in the event through your having shared it. And that's for this evening's Evening of Mediumship, in aid of this little doggy who can't speak up for himself, bless him. So Claire's here. Hey Claire, hey Carl. Thank you, Carol. Lots and lots going on now as we come towards the end of the broadcast. The medium between this world and the next. Absolutely. They say that we act as a conduit, we act as a telephone wire between the next world and this world, or the other world and this world, or heaven and earth, or the summerlands and earth, depending on how you see the afterlife. And we bring messages forward from there to here to people that they apply to. So it is very, very important to recognize all of that. Claire, I will call you directly after this and do that for you. I can't do that now. I don't do that in the mornings. Miss Midia, I will do that after this broadcast in about 2.5 minutes. Right, guys, so don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 10 till 10:30 in the morning, UK time. We're also live, so that's now, for motivation, inspiration, and conversation for your day ahead. On Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, we do classes. Tuesdays, we do development. Thursdays, we do mediumship. And those are via Zoom. They're £5 a week, and you can pay for the event and then receive the link. That's for Tuesday and Thursday evenings. And then we have our Sunday evening Psychic Sundays, and that's where we do pull cards for each individual person as we go along, and that's on our Psychic Sunday evenings. So those are our three our events that we have regularly. Don't forget, this evening we've got our fundraiser for Ollie Saxley, and that hopes and promises to be a good evening for all. Any other details, any other events you can find on our page. Don't forget to go like our page. We're also now on YouTube. You can catch up on YouTube. It would be lovely to go have some more views there, some whatever you call them, subscriptions to YouTube. You subscribe to our channel, click the bell, and you will be notified daily. These broadcasts are now uploaded. They're linked now to YouTube, so they upload live to our YouTube channel, MJ Lifestylist. Other than that, it only remains for me to say, have a fantastic day further and weekend ahead, whatever you decide to do. Don't forget, we've got our special on as well. I'm just reading that at the bottom of the screen. We've got our special on as well, where you can buy a reading, treatment, or consultation, which is valid and can be redeemed up until June of next year. And that is currently £25 instead of £50 for a session. And those sessions will cease to exist at that price on the 31st of December. So, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you're doing the best you can with the tools that you've got. Until I see you again, be blessed. Have a fantastic day. Namaste.